And action. Hey, Julie just had a comment about a mindful practice, and I've been told this before by other patients. I introduced the concept of we have to practice mindfulness. Anxiety and depression or mood disorders, we need to ground, you need to get counseling. I remember one patient in particular a couple of years ago said, well, in the real world we have to worry about paying the bills and getting through the day. And I didn't engage that person, but they had a good argument. When it comes to making a major lifestyle change, you can't neglect your duties of taking care of your kids, paying your bills, going to work, driving, waking up at the same time every day, eating properly. You can't neglect that. If you try to neglect that, then you're going to be getting in trouble with the law. You're going to be paying taxes that are astronomical. You're going to be starving and making poor decisions for eating. You're going to be gaining weight. You're going to be having problems with concentration because you didn't get any sleep. So you can't ignore those functions of the day. However, the real world is actually right here. I think what Deepak and Oprah always teach, especially if you check out their 21-day meditation challenge, is to try to develop your own mindful practice. And everybody has their own way. You don't have to follow my way. I like guided imagery in the morning, guided imagery at night. I sometimes go real deep and just do my mala beads or attend an immersion with somebody else guiding, or I just do yoga. Or more practical, I get out into a national forest or a forest preserve and I just immerse myself with nature. But the idea is you have to have that. The real world and the real conflict, I should say the conflict, but the way we take care of these conflicts and the violence of the world and the politicians making weird decisions is having a stronger inner peace. And it might seem very foreign, but sometimes what happens is, what usually happens is, even if you don't get that mindfulness thing, even if you don't want to go see a psychologist to develop a spiritual practice or cognitive behavioral therapy, eventually things come to a head, life crashes, and then you'll surrender to either some form of your source, some form of religion that might get you a little guidance or supportive, or you will start to have no choice. You have to listen to the cues that me and my team will give you. Physical muscle is one thing. It's easy to kind of relate to that. But spiritual muscle, digestive muscle, if we eat properly, build up that biome in the gut, sleep muscle, all that's important. Problem-solving muscle, all that's important too. That's the real world. So Julie luckily was able to kind of cross over and have a reawakening, and it's really cool because not only is she reawakening or starting the spiritual grounding, she's also using that to bounce off and develop physical grounding. And next it's going to be nutritional grounding. So you'll have a bulletproof middle-aged person that can tolerate the diseases coming up. I don't have to worry about the diseases, just have to make you bulletproof. And how do we make people bulletproof? There's billions of different ways. Each person in the world has a different way. We just have to find it. So it's up to your doctor or your team or your life coach or your psychologist to help you get there. But unfortunately, if you don't open up and you just consider yourself a victim, having to answer to one problem, then another problem, I mean, we can chase all these conflicts that are external, but if you have no grounding, you'll be answering to everybody's whims and wishes. And you won't be able to develop your own self because everybody is concerned with having their life move on. And if you are constantly answering to everybody else, you'll be spending money you don't have to buy things you don't need to please people you don't like. I learned that from Deepak when I took his yoga teacher certification course way back when. And I've always been thankful for the Chopra Center for showing me the way, at least providing me the way out of suffering. And it's very enlightening to have a direction to enlightenment. But again, it begins with recognizing that there is another way, and maybe being brave to develop that muscle. But the only way to develop physical muscle is to exercise and practice. The only way to develop spiritual muscle is to meditate or find mindful practice and keep on practicing. And if you don't like my ways, find another way. But that is a well-rounded life. So Julie, I'm glad you're on your track to stardom, but keep on chipping away, and please encourage others. You're a beacon of light for everybody else.